Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to another, well, bunch of World of Tanks games, all from yours truly. I'll be honest, there isn't really that much that links these games together. It's just an assortment of vaguely fun, kind of mid-tier-ish matches from me. So we are kicking off proceedings with the Soviet Tier 5 tank destroyer, not really a machine you see all that often in the game. This is the Su-85. I do have a review of this thing coming up, so if you're vaguely interested, stay tuned for that. It's only tier 5, so it doesn't exactly cost a huge amount of money. And what we essentially have is a Panzer III hull with a captured by the Soviets and a Soviet superstructure and 85mm gun poking out the front. This machine gets limited matchmaking, and so this is a tier 6 game. This is about as bad as it gets. And we're here on Ensk, which for TD's not necessarily the best map, let's be honest. So, so far I have found nothing to put my gun to work on. But now we've got a VK3001D, and one thing you can say about this tank is, given that it's 160 alpha damage, the reload on this gun is very, very nice. It's around about, it's less than 4 seconds for 160 alpha, which means this tank does get rather respectable DPM. And people should be very wary of the DPM from this machine. Don't have any more shots on the VK, so we're going to come around here and look lovingly and longingly at a T-34 who looks at us in return. He bounces one shot, a Stug puts a shot into our tracks, we put one into him, although unfortunately I was going to say we're not able to finish him off, but that does rather depend, and, well, there goes the STRV who was with us. Now this is an encounter match, so the cap circle is in the town, of course, here on Ensk, and we're going to have to be a little bit careful. We really don't want to be caught out on our own when we are in kind of a bottom tier tank, if you will. Skoda T-25 has turned up to do something about our Su-5 artillery. Wondering if while he's distracted I might be able to pew-pew him. That would be quite good. Can't really shoot through the train tracks, unfortunately, and there's a T-34 as well. And I'm kind of wishing at this point that I had just bugged out and gotten out of here. Nonetheless, we managed to execute the T-34, and oh god, there's an enemy KV-2. But we have a friendly KV-2 turning up, an Su-85, there's an enemy Panzer IV-D, and another artillery piece. Now the scoreline is 9-5 at this point, so hopefully this match will be a win. It would just be quite nice if we could not die in the process. There's kill number 2 as we take out the Panzer IV. Skoda T-25, now he has a 3-round autoloader, which is dangerous. He puts those 3 rounds into us, we put 3 into him in return, which I was quite pleased about, if I'm going to be honest. And we're just going to take his tracks off there to keep him there. And I'm hoping someone's going to come and give me a little hand, like maybe the KV-2, for example. Looks like that shot missed, but Skoda T-25 KV-2 takes out the Skoda T-25. And I get a little bit of assistance damage into the bargain, which is nice. VK here, there's one into him. We only do 150 damage, but we track him into the bargain. There's another one. I'm a one-shot kill. I really don't want to get hit at this point. There we go. There is kill number 3. KV-2. Oh, good lord, he's looking at me, and there we are. He manages to blat me in the face. He's the last one left, though. So with any luck, our team should be able to descend on him like a pack of avenging furies. Furying vengers? Oh, dear. And take him out of the game. He's not going to be able to kill them all, especially with his 20-second reload. You might take one of them out, and that's about it. And there we can see he's being whittled down. 274 health. A little bit of a nudge there. He takes out, oh, an RKV2, sorry, takes him out in the end, and there we go. So let's see how well we did in this one. Okay, then that ended up being enough for, actually, an ace tanker, fire for effect, and bruiser awards. 1,511 damage done, 3 kills, 966 base XP, and remember that a lot of the people we shot at well, all of the people we shot at, most of the people we shot at, I'll get it right in a minute, were equal or higher tiers. VK Tier 6, Skoda Tier 6, VK Tier 5, T-34 Tier 5, Stug Tier 5, and the Panzer IV Tier 4. 18 shots fired, 14 hits, 11 penetrations for that damage count. Most of that damage at fairly close range, actually. 6 hits received, 4 penetrated, 2 did not. 85 damage blocked by our armour, 160 odd assistance damage, and 39,152 credits profit. For a 3-minute 30 match from our perspective. And actually the damage racks up pretty quickly in that machine. It's quite a nice little tank in many ways. So there we go. That was our first game. Let's go and jump into another one. So in this one we are keeping it in a tier 5 premium tank, and we're staying in a tier 6 match, but we're jumping nations and tank types. This is the Japanese medium, the Chinukai, tier 5 premium medium tank. This thing does not get limited matchmaking, so a tier 6 match is very much middle of the road. We're here on Erlenberg. It's an assault match, and we are on the defending team, and we kick proceedings off with a T-67 rampantly spamming the map, which is kind of irritating. Get invited to a platoon by Churchill 7, I mean, sure, why not? Doesn't bother me. Maybe you need a mission to be done, and I don't mind if I help out doing that. So, defending Erlenberg, we're going to the 9 and 0 lines because the other side of the map is a giant great death trap. Now I do have a review of this tank up on my channel if you want to go and take a look. It's not a bad machine, it's not really a great machine either, but there we go. Can be a fun little tank. And if you buy it on discount, it's literally only a few quid or a few euros. Doesn't cost very much at all. So, over this side of the map, well, now this is one of those situations where you think, you know what would be really nice? 10 degrees of gun depression to work those hills and ridge lines. And the regular tier 5 Chinu gets 10 degrees. Unfortunately, the Chinukai only gets like 7.5, something like that. Which is a bit disappointing. Nonetheless, we are going to do our best and try and shoot up these bad guys as best as we can. So what have we got? A20, ooh, he's not looking too healthy. KV1, there's a Crusader, STRV over here as well. So what we're trying to do, for anyone who doesn't know what I try and do on Erlenberg, is clear out these tanks as quickly as we possibly can, flush through the 9 and 0 lines, make sure there are no bad guys there, and then go back and defend our base from the inevitable push along the 1 and 2 lines. And if you can do that, ooh, we get a little bit lucky there. I wasn't actually expecting to penetrate that turret, but I'll take it. If you do that quickly and efficiently, then you can go back and defend from the push along the 1 and 2 lines, because the attacking team almost invariably wins that side of the map. And with that complete, it's very difficult for them to actually push across the river. You have the objective, the base, on your side of the, well, on this side of the river, so this makes a much more sensible side of the map to defend the base from. As in order to cross the river, the enemy generally have to expose themselves and often get shot at quite a lot, and crossing a river, unsurprisingly, slows your tank down. So yeah, it just seems like a sensible thing to do. Now they're already in our base, so I am heading back to try and see if I can spot the base for our artillery, and then we can get some base resets going on. So going into this bush, wait a moment, binos will be up, there we go, T-67, pulling back behind the bush, oh never mind, he gets obliterated, excellent. KV-85 now, pulling back so that I'm not going to be spotted from firing through this bush, and we might as well take a punt. Bounced, well, critical damage actually. Nah, no joy, gonna go and spot him again. And I use binocular telescopes in these sort of mid to low tier medium tanks, because without them they don't have a good enough view range to actually get anywhere near the view range cap, and I do like to be up there at the view range cap. It does really help you with your spotting. So I take binocular telescopes on these machines, and that allows me to do stuff like this. And spot out the KV-5, and he is now getting shot up. We lost our Dicamax, unfortunately, but these guys are getting fairly effectively worked over. Ooh, we've also spotted out their artillery, fan-dabby-tastic. I say we've spotted out. We didn't get much assistance damage from that, so I think the T-67 may also have been spotting him, or something along those lines. But either way, we're doing some half-decent spotting here. We're up to 516 assistance damage, which is none too shabby. Remember, this is only a Tier 6 match, and we're only in a Tier 5 tank. Come on, guys. Sick him. Sick him. That's it. Kill it with fire. And this is one of the nice things about your medium tanks. Generally speaking, they have the flexibility to do whatever needs to be done at any given time. The SAV next to me just explodes, but that shell wasn't meant for me, so I'm okay. Up to 908 assistance damage. Scoreline is 9-9, but I seem to have run out of spotting potential from that location. So I'm just going to push it forwards a little bit. If we can get flanking shots into that Rudy, who I think is the last person left on this side, then that would be nice for our team, and hopefully we can take this guy out. First shot flubs, but he misses me. Second shot hits the mark, and third shot tracks him, and our FV304 finishes him off, and there's a little bit more assistance damage for us. Oh, VK behind us. Looks like there's a hillock blocking most of our tank, which is good. So we're just going to go right the way around and hopefully try and spot this guy for the STRV up on the hill and for our artillery. There's also a Dicamax over there. Okay, let the gun aim, and there we go. There's some damage on the Dicamax. Nope, that one missed. This is not the biggest shot in the world. Nah, Dicamax has decided nuts to this. Not interested at all. Fair enough. So over 1100, over 1200 assistance damage at this point, 412 damage done by us as well. So already we've actually had a pretty good game in our Chinukai here. Been valuable to our team, doing some good spotting and getting some damage done in ourselves. And now we have got a friendly T-3485 who has gone right the way around, and so between us we should be able to shoot these guys up. Put one shot into the T-82, second one seems to just damage his tracks, third one takes his tracks out, and a lot of arty players don't seem to pack a repair kit, so he is done. Scoreline is 13-11. We've just got this VK down here, and then there's a Churchill last spotted up at J8. Managed to flub that shot because we're special, but we pick up the kill anyway for kill number 2, and that just leaves this Churchill. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit until we find him, as I believe we shall. La 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 la. There we go. There's the Churchill, and he is just getting whole kinds of shot up, and we're able to pick up the kill there, and that is the match. So let's go and have a look at the post-game stats for this one. Now, while I was happy that this was a reasonably decent match, I was not expecting this to be my ace tanker in the Chinukai. But it was. Ace tanker, spotter, fire for effect, bruiser, and my first mark of excellence in the tank as well. Top of our team, 689 damage done, 3 kills, 1026 base experience. Commiserations to Cubulus 9 in the Rudy on the enemy team. 2200 damage was not enough to win it for his team. 16 shots fired, 12 hits, 7 penetrations, 689 damage, most of it from fairly close range. Spotted 2 enemy tanks, damaged 7, killed 3, 1267 assistance damage, 2.5 kilometers travelled, and with a standard account a profit of 28,000 credits. And some experience in there to train up one of my Japanese medium tank crews as well. So, a nice little game there in the Chinukai, where I feel we had a bit more of an impact, perhaps, which is all well and good. So, we're going to jump up a couple of tiers for the next match. Here we go with the next match then. We have jumped up to tier 7, and I'm driving the anti-tank destroyer of the American variety, the T-25AT. This is the non-turreted tank destroyer. Once again, I have a review of this tank on my channel if you want to go and take a perusal. We are bottom tier. Boo. It's a tier 9 match. And I'll warn you, this is going to be a kind of campy game, so don't expect outlandish stuffs. Also, bear in mind, because of differences in client versions and all that jazz, you can't see the ammunition I'm using or the consumables I've got for this particular match. I will just state that off the top of my head, I don't believe I fire any rounds of APCR. I don't think I fire any high explosive either. I'm pretty sure this is all 100% armor piercing. It doesn't get off to a particularly good start as we go around to try and take a shot or have a look at the AMX 1390, and a Carnarvon plumps one in our face for our troubles. So, yeah, not a particularly fantastic way to kick things off. T10 over there, and a Tiger 2. Are either of them going to give me anything to shoot at? T10 is, and that one bounces. Yay! E75 appears to be tracked there, going for the side of the turret. There we go, 306. It's a low damage roll, but this gun isn't the most accurate in the world, and the fact that we actually hit him and did some damage in and of itself is worth noting. Take a shot there on the Tiger. Doesn't look like it really did any damage. He angled his hull, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. Going for the turret slash side slash tracking shot there. We're rewarded with another penetration. And that shot looked like it was a bit high to me, but I could be wrong. T10 poking out. Can I get one through? No. Like I said, this gun is not fantastically accurate. It's no sniper rifle. This is really not a campy type tank destroyer, despite the fact that it doesn't actually have a turret, but there we go. Who's next? IS. Just see him through the gap. And we can just miss him through the gap, of course. Never mind. If he's going to come around the other side of the rock, that would be grand. Or if that T10 is going to pop out, that would also be nice. M46 pattern. You'll do. Kill number 1. And that's a tank that's 2 tiers higher than us. And it's always nice to nail those valuable targets. IS goes down. Scoreline is currently 2 kills to 3 in favour of the enemy team. Side of the turret on that E75 again. Why are you still there, Mr. E75? That is not a good place for you to hang out. The fact that you've been shot and haven't realised this yet is slightly worrying for you. So we've still got T28 Prot. There's still a couple, or still at least a Tiger up there, and the T10. Tiger goes down, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. T10 and Prototype are both taking cover, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. There we are. Although T28 Prototype appears to have decided that now is the time. He wants to give me his side armor. Totally okay with that. If that's what he wants to do, who am I to tell him otherwise? That would be incredibly rude of me. Is he really? Oh, go on. Oh, wow, okay. And now he decides to reverse outside on in front of my gun. And he knows I can hit him because I've been doing it. One more shot should pick up the kill on this fellow. Never mind, someone else. RT10 picks it up. Can I tell you something about the T10? No, it bounces off of him. Of course it does. As I said, accurate this gun is not. 198 penetration on this. As you can see, it is enough for a tier 9 match. Though you do have to pick your shots carefully, and some of them will bounce, and really you want people's sides and rears, which is why I say this isn't really a campy tank destroyer, because you don't, especially the way the game has gone, you just don't have the raw penetration to go through the front of many of these heavily armoured targets, like the E75 for example. I'm not going to try and go through his front. That one bounces, unfortunately. E75 executes our AMX 30. I might be able to give this T10 a hand, however. There we go, one through the E75 side armour, and the IS3 polishes him off. Carnarvon. There we go, put one into him. Back off, because I don't really want to get shot by him or any of his friends, although his friends mostly seem to be over there. Pretty sure that the Carnarvon is going to be taken out, and we have other things to worry about. T-37 is no more. Kill number 2. AMX 1390 up there. We are winning this match, by the way, so that's nice. Hopefully he's going to pop up. Artillery. Now again, this is patch 9.17 replay, so artillery haven't been reworked at this point. Their artillery manages to miss me and just damages my track, so I don't have any actual HP damage to worry about, and there are no stun mechanics when I played this match. AMX 1390 seems to decide better of it, and that just leaves GW Panther and the AMX 5100. Someone's invited me to a spittoon. Sorry, a platoon, not to be confused with a spittoon, very different things. No, I don't seem to be able to shoot the 5100. Can I do something about this GW Panther? There we go. Someone else picks up the kill, but that's some more damage. And then the AMX 5100, someone else kills him too. And that is the match. So, let's go and have a look at how well we did. That was enough for Fire for Effect and an Ace Tanker award then. Finished top on our team with 1,146 base experience, 2 kills, 3,594 damage done. Remember that while we were doing a lot of those shots from range, so that's going to eat into the amount of experience we earn, we were also shooting a lot of higher tier targets. I mean, we were bottom tier there, so most of our targets are going to be higher tier. E75 tier 9, T10 tier 9, Patton tier 9, Carnarvon tier 8, Tiger 2 tier 8, Prototype tier 8, Panther tier 7, and the T37 at the time was a tier 6 light tank. 20 shots fired, 17 hits, 12 penetrations for that 3.6k damage, most of which was from more than 300 meters. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 of them destroyed, and we only made a profit of 8,000 credits with a standard account because the ammunition on this gun isn't the cheapest and the gun isn't the most accurate. So, yeah. But that was our ace tanker in the T25 AT. Not a massively exciting game, we were basically just farming our way up to it, but nice to get nonetheless. One more match for you in this video then. Here we are then. This time we are up one more tier. This is the tier 8 Soviet medium tank, the Object 416. Again, I recently have put a review of this on my channel, so go and check that out if you are potentially interested in this machine. Tier 9 match, so this is middle of the road matchmaking. We're in a tier 8, it's a tier 9 game. Could be better, could be worse. There are only 3 tier 9s on each team. The enemy team have a Leopard, T30 and an FV3805. And then right away I'm thinking, what targets on that team am I going to be able to engage effectively? The only one that's really going to give me massive problems armor-wise is the VK101P. Right away, coming up here, pretending to be a tank destroyer because the Object 416 does kind of tread that boundary. Completely flub the shot on the MT25, get spotted into the bargain. That is not a particularly good way to kick things off. And the MT25 is not going there. For some reason these guys are going quite close to the lake, which seems like an interesting choice because that's basically how you get shot up. That shot only manages to critically hit the IS, damaging his tracks but not blowing them off, which is slightly unfortunate. Finally we managed to get a shot that connects and does damage to this IS. One more, yes, before he gets into the town, and we probably won't be able to shoot him much anymore. So, okay, not the best start in the world, but we have at least managed to do a little bit of damage before kind of getting stuck in. A bit of damage from range. That one misses, unfortunately. This gun's accuracy is decidedly mediocre, which is a bit frustrating when you remember that the shell price is rather expensive. You're paying over 1,200 credits every time you pull the trigger for a gun that is has mediocre penetration, dubious accuracy, and well, only hits for 320 even when it does penetrate. You really are paying above the odds for that. There we go. IS, is he poking out a bit? Yes, he is. But I bounce because his plate was well angled back, and I only have about 200 penetration with this gun. So, not the best start in the world. I mean, this thing is no long-range sniper, as you can see. It's really more of a medium-range DPM monster. But nonetheless, we're trying this first because, frankly, well, you don't have a fully rotating turret, and so you don't want to get stuck in until you're pretty confident that you can do. That shot definitely connected and made pain happen. AMX has managed to make it into the town, however, though not before losing a good chunk of his health. There goes the IS. We've still got that T-34-3 and the VK-101P. You'll notice, by the way, or you might have noticed, our team appear to have successfully pushed through the town. Hello, Mr. VK. Yeah, that's just a bounce. At these ranges, with this accuracy, 200 pen doesn't really cut it to go through the sides of that VK. Anyway, our team seem to have successfully managed to push through the valley. We're going to take pot shots at people. Fails to penetrate again. In the town. Just to try and provide some fire support for our guys who are there. Now, I'm getting a little bit fed up with this at this point, I must be honest. While I am over here, failing to penetrate my shots, my team is... well, I mean, that T-43 took one shot, got set on fire, and has lost most of his health. I mean... ooh, and that Super Pershing just got slammed. I mean, this is a slightly worrisome situation. Side of the turret? No, that was... I thought he was going to keep driving forward there, but it hit the building anyway. So this is a slightly worrisome situation for our team, and I'm not really doing as much to help them as I might. Playing very cautiously because this is a very fragile tank, but finally we managed to put a shot into the Scorpion. It tracks him as well. Let's take advantage of this. He's backing off. He should have gone forwards because, well, now I can just put another shot into him. And even then, after only damaging 4 shells, because your alpha in this tank is 320 rather than 240, damage 4 shells and we're up to over 1300 damage done. There we go. Looks like we took his track out into the bargain as well. And 1630 damage done for a tier 8 medium tank it's okay. It's not too bad. Is this AMX going to allow me to seal the deal? Saved by a merry-go-round. Botherations. Take the shot blind, get rewarded with the kill. Who needs to be able to see your target? That's our first kill. Scoreline is 8-9-7, but they are in the base eating the cookies. Our push through the valley seems to have stalled as they run into the enemy T-30. Which is a little worrisome. Now, we don't want our team sitting there all day long doing nothing, and there are only 5 of them left at this point. We've got the T-30 and the AMX down at the end of the valley. The FV was last spotted down there as well. The VK is down there, and the Borsig is down there. So basically the entire enemy team is down in that corner. Just casually take out the VK-2801. Unfortunately, now they know I'm coming, but can't be helped. Let's kick off with whoever we meet first. FV-3805. One shot into him. He must have noticed that I'm here by now. If he has, he's not doing anything about it. There's kill number 3. Now we've got the AMX-12T over here, and there's also a Borsig just around the corner. So the AMX isn't really giving us much to shoot at. In fact, he gets executed. So does our T-29, and oh god, okay, we've got Jagdpanther as support. So let's do this. Borsig has fired. Put 1 shell into him, leave him on 97 health, and the Jagdpanther finishes him off. T-30 has fired. Hopefully this guy is using the big gun. If he is, we've got a good amount of time to reload and go around him. We managed to take out his track, and now we're slightly undone by the fact that the Object 416 does not have a fully rotating turret. However, the T-30 is horrible to try and traverse, especially on this terrain. And so we're still able, that's definitely the big gun, still able to mess his day. He takes out our turret, we repair it. We cannot afford to take another shot from him, but we shouldn't have to. Our reload should be, as long as we don't mess this up, more than good enough to take that guy out without too much difficulty. And with 1 round of armor-piercing ammunition left, that is the match. So let's go and have a look at those post-game stats. Now at the time I was actually slightly surprised by this result, but let's run with it anyway. Fire for Effect, Fighter, Bruiser, High Caliber, and Ace Tanker. Nice slew of awards, and remember this was a tier 9 match, so some of the targets we were shooting at were higher tier I guess, and that will increase the amount of experience we get. The VK is tier 6, the AMX is tier 7, IS tier 7, Scorpion, Borsig, T-34, AMX and VK are all tier 8. Then the FV I think is tier 9, and the T-30 is definitely tier 9, and we did eat all of that T-30's health. 4,690 damage done, 4 kills, 1,354 base experience. It was actually really nice to get this result. We had a game before this on Sand River with a very similar damage count that ended up being a defeat, which was kind of frustrating. I think that game was actually more exciting to watch than this one, but this one did have the amusement of circling someone to death in a tank without a fully traversable turret, which I found kind of amusing. Commiserations to that T-30, almost 4,000 damage wasn't enough to pull his team across the winning line. Having said that, he really shouldn't have been camping at the end of the valley. Maybe if he'd done that damage in the town, it might have actually made a difference to the outcome of this match. 27 shots fired, 21 hits, 16 penetrations. That's that gun for you. At longer ranges, it's kind of bounces off things and whatnot. 4,619 damage done, of course. 2,000 from longer range, the other 2,600 from pretty close range. 1 hit received from that T-30, didn't leave us with much health, and we certainly didn't bounce anything. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 of them destroyed, a couple of base defense points. And with the premium account we made a profit of 13,000 credits, because we spent 33,000 credits on ammunition. All of those rounds were armor piercing. No fancy ammo there, this thing is expensive to run. With a standard account would have made a loss, despite doing a nice amount of damage. And there we go. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that little selection of Ace Tanker games that I played. If you did, by all means feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel, and as ever I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao ciao.